Okay, are you able to hear my voice clearly? Okay, I shared one link in the chat box. Just we can click that link. A window will be open. It can be used in mobile as well as it can use in tab or it can be used in system. In this platform only, we are going to perform laboratory lecture. So I inform everybody, just we can open this link. Okay, hope that we will be opening that link. We're able to see this type of window. Yes, of course, I'm sharing the link. Okay, our lab class, our lab lecture will be like a interactive. I'll be explaining on topic, then I will be execute. Then after that, you want to execute and share your screen. So in this method only, we are going to conduct the laboratory lecture. Okay. Now we can see that our image processing can be done through the MATLAB, but we are in online, so we're not able to use MATLAB. So we are going for the open source tool which can be easily available in the online, and there is no requirement of any installation process. The tool is called as a Octo. The tool is called as a Octo. It is a open source online tool. There is no need of any installation. It can be work in the system or mobile phone or tab. We can do maximum operations what we are doing in the MATLAB without changing any coding or any syntax. Okay, what are the commands and the program which are executing the MATLAB, the same can be able to execute in the Octave online platform. It is equal to the MATLAB which can be working in online. So consider this online lecture. We are going to use this tool for executing our image processing programs. That's why we are choosing this platform for working the lab programs. Okay. Now I'm going to teach what are the parts available. I'm going to teach what are the parts is available in this window. Okay. If you open this window, you can click, there is a menu. If I click that menu, there will be a sign in. Just we can sign in with Google. It will be automatically sign in so that you are able to create your own space for your program. I'm already signed in, so it shows that sign out. That's the first step is you want to sign in by clicking the menu, sign in with Google. Okay, complete that. After that, there is a three columns in this tool. There is a three columns. The first column denotes to the file browser. The first column denotes to the file browser. The second column denotes that the program which you want to type. Whenever we click the file browser explorer, we are able to get that the particular program to be opened in this space. This space is used for typing the program and execute the program. This white space we can call as where the output will be displayed. In this white space only, the output to be displayed according to your inputs. The final thing we're able to see that there is a text box at the bottom of the browser. There is a text box. This text box is used to give query to the Octave. It is a box which is used to interact with the Octave tool. This box type the query, type the program, type the command, everything will be typed in this text box. Then press enter key. And according to that, the data will be worked here. The this is the fourth column. Okay, the third column we can see this third column mostly used to store the variables which is used in the programming. It is used to store the variables separately while executing the program. Okay, while executing the command. Okay, this is about the Octave online platform. The first column is a file browser. The second column is used for a program editing and execution. Third part we can call it as the variables which is used in the program or command. The white space denotes that it is a output screen. The text box denotes that where we are able to give the input. Okay, here we are doing the image processing lab. Before you are going to directly not, we are not going to handle the image. Just practice with this online platform by giving some basic commands and how the output will be displayed. The first thing is this Octave can be executed in two mode. One is interpreter mode. The next one is we can call as a compiler mode. The first mode is the interpreter mode. The second one is the compiler mode. Interpreter mode is nothing but according to the command, it will be executed, output will be generated, then it shows the next prompt to execute it. This is called the interpreter, line by line execution. If we go for the compiler, the whole program will be written, total program will be written, then we can try to execute the program. Then the whole program will be compiled. If there any error will be told, otherwise go for the execution part. So the two things will be here. It can be executed by line, or you can execute by a group of lines. That is a program. Now we can see an example here. It is now we are working in the interpreter mode. Okay, we can see 34 plus 56. I'm giving the value 34 plus 56. If I hit enter key, it processes and gives the answer. Each and every time we're able to see Octave 1. Octave 1 means how many interactions will be taking place. If I give the next command and give enter key, we're able to see that Octave 2 like this. Okay. Here we can see that this Octave, it identifies this 34 is a number and 56 is also another number. There is a symbol called operator called plus. So it performs additions and the result will be stored in the default variable. The result will be stored in the default variable. Here the default variable is ANS. Default variable is ANS. If you does not give any variable to store the result, it automatically use the default variable to store the result. The default variable is answer, ANS. I'm giving another example. C is equal to 89. P is equal to 90. D equal to 90. Then R is equal to C plus B. You can see this interpreter, this line will be executed. It takes the value C as 89, D as 90. Addition will be performed, the result will be stored in the variable called R. Here, what are the variables we are using here? We can see it is available in the stack format. It is available in the stack format, first in, last out format. Okay, this octal can be executed in two different modes. One is implicit mode, another one is explicit mode. Meaning that explicit means we can give the command is executed, the output will be displayed, then only go for the next prompt. If it is implicit, it will execute the command, the result will not display. Here, what are the commands we are working here is called the explicit, meaning that we're giving the statement is executed, the output will be displayed, then only go for the next prompt, that is called the explicit. If you want to go this for the implicit, it will be work, it store the data, but it will not display the data. For example, I'm using the same C is equal to go for A is equal to 70. Can be if I give A is equal to 7p, automatically the data will be displayed. Then P is equal to 9p. In that I am giving semicolon. If not give semicolon, the line will be executed and the output will be displayed. If I give the semicolon, B is equal to 90, it will not display any answer. It is called the implicit. That is the particular statement is interpreted and executed. B has the value 90. Now we can see C is equal to A plus B semicolon. Yes, it performs addition 70 plus 90, 160 will be stored in the variable C. If I give semicolon, it is implicit, will not display the result. If I want the result, just we can type C, we're able to get the result as 160. So it can be executed in the implicit mode as well as it can be executed in the explicit mode. It does not need not to give any data type declaration. According to this value, it automatically converts its variable into its equivalent data type. For example, B is equal to 78, Z Q is equal to 78 divided by 2.3. We're able to see that D is the value 78, it is integer value, and divided by 2.3, giving the number as 2.3 is a floating number, the result will be stored in the floating point, that is Q is equal to 3.913. Okay, up to this I'm stopping now. I'm requesting everybody to perform this basic operation on the screen. I given the data here. Okay, I'm requesting everybody can do this operation and share the screen now. Simple thing, this laboratory lecture, the attendance will be provided, depends upon your output which you are showing. You want to know whether you're working or not. So I'm requesting everybody to work it out and share with the screen for my reference. So now I'm stopping my screen. We can go to this link, go to the Google Gmail sign in, then we can try to work out these commands. Okay, I'm waiting for your result. I am telling that the utterance is depends upon your execution of the program. I told that you are working in the mobile also. It can be also executed in the mobile also. Okay, anybody completed? If you completed, we can share your screen. Is there any difficulties you are facing to work with this software? Then also you can able to share your screen, ask your doubt. Yes, Vijay, we can share your screen. Those are completed, we can share your screen. Yes, Kumar, you can show that. Yes, fine. Thank you, Sumit Kumar. We can close it. Next. Yes, Vijay. Yes, fine, Vijay. We can close it. I'm not considered just we can put in the chat box. I want to see your screen. It's fine. Okay, fine. Yes, we can stop sharing the screen. Okay, I'm seeing the Raj screen. Yes, okay, fine. We can close it. Raj, okay, fine. Others? Yes, okay, fine now. Good. Okay, thank you. Okay, anybody want to show the screen or we can go for the next topic? Please reply, ma. Anyone want to show the screen or you can go for the next topic? Okay, Raj, you can go for the next topic. Okay, then wait, I will share it. Okay, the next is you want to clear this workspace. You want to clear this output screen. For that, the command is CLC. To clear the output screen, you want to use the command CLC. Now we can see all the commands, all the outputs are cleared. Now we are working with the predefined functions. Now we are working with the predefined functions. The first function we are going to work is square root. S cube or take square root of 16. I'm directly giving the command without assigning any variables, nothing. Directly I'm typing sqrt of 60. Enter key. If I give like this, the default output storage variable is 4. Answer. So the answer will be, the result will be stored in the variable called answer and it will be displayed. The same command sqrt 49, close it and semicolon. I'm not giving any variable to store the result, but I'm giving semicolon. Now you can see the square root function, predefined function is executed. The output will be stored in the variable called answer. It is a default variable, but it will not display the answer because we are given the semicolon. If you give semicolon, it is an implicit execution. Now we can, if you want to know the answer, just you can type ANS and enter key. The square root of 47 is 7. This one thing. Next thing, you are able to assign the result to some other variable, or we can able to give the input as the variable also. For example, a equal to 81 semicolon, then or is equal to square root of a. Enter key. Now you can able to see that a value is 81. A can be directly assigned to the built-in function called square root. The result will be stored in R, then it will be displayed as the R is equal to 9. In this way, we are able to use a predefined function in the MATLAB. The next function, I can able to find the minimum or maximum of two numbers. Okay. I'm giving minimum of 43, comma 12. Close it, enter key. I'm giving two values. It will be displayed which value is the minimum value. Next, like that, we can go for the maximum. Maximum of 43, comma 12. It will be display 43. Here the numbers can be given directly, or you can able to give the value in the assignment operator directly in the variable also. For example, result res is equal to square root of variable is or comma ans answer. You can see the R as the variable 9. The last data execution of the command is maximum 43, comma 12. Its output is 43 stored in the answer. Now I'm giving R, comma ans. Enter key. R as the value. Okay, fine. Not use. I want to use the minimum maximum. So equal to, before that I just display your answer. CLC or data is 9, answer variable data is 43, minimum or comma ans, close it. Now we can able to see that we're able to get a value, minimum value is 9, same like that for maximum of or comma ans, we're able to get the maximum of 43. You can able to tell why the answer is 9?
Sir, because it saved the last value.
Yes, in this instruction, the result is stored in the answer. So now R is 9, answer is also 9, so it is equal, it returns anyone. Okay, fine. RES result equal to max of 4, comma or. Able to see 4 is a direct value, or is a variable where the value is 9, maximum means 9. Okay, these are the some basics predefined some functions which can be used. Okay, now we can able to work in the Octo and show me the result. I'm typing here the what are the commands you want to put out. I'm typing here sqrt square root function, square root of 33, 45, a equal to 90, b equal to 89. You don't do this line, square root should be a single value. So a is equal to 90, b is equal to 89. Then what is the minimum of a comma b? What is the maximum of a comma b? That's q or t, square root of 81. Then res is equal to 49. Then r equal to square root of res. Kindly execute this command and try to show to me. Okay, just we don't use this command as qrt 34, 45, wrongly entered, don't use it. So those are completed, we can share me the screen so that we can move to the next topic. Yes, Vijay. Okay, thank you. Yes, square root. Okay, fine. Now you can close it. Next. Sri Narayan. I was seeing the Raj screen. Yes, fine, Raj. Sri Narayan, you told that you are completed. If completed, just you can share the screen. I'm sharing the screen with Shah. Yes, fine now. Thank you. You can close it. I'm not able to see the screen, Agarwal screen. Yeah, now it is displaying. Just opened after. Yeah, fine. Okay, you can close it. Anyone want to share your screen? I clearly told that if you not share the screen, you're not able to get the attendance. So it is a lab. It should be hands-on training. Each and every program will be executed and explained. Then you want to execute it by yourself. Okay, fine. Now I'm moving to the next topic. The next topic is here we are. I hope that you are able to see the screen. The next is you want to draw the chart or graph. Mostly MATLAB is used for image processing. The data which will be, the picture will be converted only in the matrix format. Then it will be go for the graphical representation called chart or graph. Here we're going to see the line graph, how to generate the line graph in Octave. For that, we require two set of values, x-axis and y-axis. So, I'm giving the values x is equal to within square bracket 3, 4, 6, 7. I'm not giving any commas. X is equal to 3, 4, 6, 7. Enter key and created a vector. Vector means a list of values. Y is equal to 5, 3, 2, 1 and closing. So I'm creating a two set of values. One is x set of values, another one is y set of values. Here we can see the dot will be plotted in 3, 5, 4, 3, 6, 2, 7, 1. For that, to draw the line graph, you want to use the command predefined function called plot, P-L-O-T plot. Open bracket, x comma y. I'm using the coordinate as a 2, means that is x comma y. So the first plot will be plotted at 2 comma 5. The second plot will be plotted at 4 comma 3. The third will be plotted at 6 comma 2. Last will be plotted as 7 comma 1. If I give enter key, you can able to see that the line chart will be plotted. You're able to see that the line chart will be plotted. 3, 4, 6, 7 is the x-axis. 3, 4, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the x-axis. In y-axis 5, 3, 2, 1. So it will start from 1 to 5. It will start from minimum and end with maximum. Same like start from minimum, end with maximum. Now we can see x is 3, y is equal to 5. So x is 3 means this point. Y is equal to 5 means this point. The next is 4 comma 3. Here 4 comma 3, this point. 6 comma 2, 6 here, 2 here, point. The next is 7 comma 1. 7, the point is 1. we able to join all the lines to see there is a line graph is generated. Now we can see we are giving a single values. We are giving a single list of values, but it is also possible we have the command to generate the values by itself own by using the formula and try to display the chart. Okay, for that we are using a variable called pi. PI is a reserved keyword which can be used in the MATLAB for using of 3.14 value. I display the pi value as 3.1416. I display the pi value as 3.1416. If you want to use this pi value, directly you can use the variable called pi to multiply by pi. So 3.1416 is multiplied by 2, we are able to get the answer as 6.2832. In this way, the reserved keyword also use it for the manipulation. Now, I'm going to generate the values continuously. I'm going to generate the values continuously. That is a iteration purpose and end with some conditions. It is for x value. Y value also going to generate it by using a predefined functions. Okay, we can see the first point. I want to create a list of values for x. So x is equal to 0 colon x is x is equal to 0 colon the condition is pi divided by 100 colon 2 multiplied by pi. If I give the statement like and semicolon. If I give semicolon, what happens now? This is an iteration process. The first, the I value will be 0. The second, the x value will be changed into 2 into pi value. The x value will be changed into 2 into pi value, and it check this condition. If this condition is true, again it go for to the another value. Like that is going on repeated. How many times it is repeated, we don't know. And because I'm giving the semicolon, the output will not display the same command. I'm typing the same command. In this time, I'm removing the semicolon. What happens? This x value will be generated, created, and displayed here. You can able to see this much x values will be created by using this formula. The second thing is how to create the y value. Y is equal to sine of x. Depends upon x value, the y value is also created. Depends upon x value, y value also created. Then enter key. You can able to see that the y value is also created. Now we have huge set of data. X separately, y separately. Then you can try to plot the graph. Plot x comma y. Close it, enter key. Now we're able to see that the graph is generated. You can see the graph is generated. The next thing is we does not know what is in the x-axis, what is in the y-axis, what is the title of this graph, we don't know. So we want to give the title as well as the left axis label and y-axis label. So for that, I'm using X label, open bracket, close bracket, within give in a single quotes. What other things will be given the single quotes, it will be displayed directly. It is for the x-axis. We can see x-axis name will be given. The next we can see for the y-axis. Y label of single quotes sine of x. Close it. Then enter key. Then the y label also will be displayed here. Yes. So the y label also displayed. And finally, you want to give the title to this. And giving the title as plot of the sine function. If I give enter key, Again, this graph is drawn. You can able to see x-axis is there, y-axis is there, and title of the graph is also there. In this way, it is also possible to generate the graphs by using a commands. Now, I'm showing the code. Just we can do it and reply to me. I'm sharing the code to you. Just do it and reply to me. I share the code. By using this code, you are able to plot the data. Now you can able to see in the chat box, I shared the statements which is used to create a plot for the generated number. If those are completed, you can show me the screenshot. Dear students, those are completed, you can show me the output. Yes, Raj. Okay, thank you, Vijay. You can close it. Yes, Sumit Kumar. Last graph. Huh? Yes, fine, close it. What about others? I'm seeing a screen stream Narayanan. The last, you can show me the last, the graph, line graph to be generated by its X label, Y label, title. Okay, thank you, Sri Narayanan. Raj, I'm going to see your screen. Yes, x-axis, y-axis, y. Okay, fine. Now just you can close the screen. Yes, anyone want to share the screen? Okay, fine. Thank you. We can close it. Yes, we can show the. Yes, anybody want to show the screen? Okay. Devnash, yes, we are completed. Okay, fine. Close it. Okay, now I'm going to give an example how to create a file. Till now, we have typed the command, we are executed, and the output will be displayed. Now, we are going to create a MATLAB very simple file and how it can be executed. Now, I'm sharing my screen. Okay, is it the screen is visible to you? Just anyone we can reply. Is it visible
Yes,
to
sir.
you?
Jabal.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Now, I want to create a MATLAB simple program, then we want to execute it. Okay, now we can see in the file explorer, at the top we're able to see that there is a plus symbol, file plus symbol. If I click this, it will ask for the file name. I'm giving the file name as sample pp dot. M is the MATLAB file extension. So I'm giving the file name as sampletp.m. I'm closing. Now I want to see in the file explorer where my file is created. My file created is sample, SAM sample tp.m. Then I click here. If I click here in the sample, the file will be opened here. So I'm not going to do any big program, just I'm copying the code which is done in the previous experiment. You can see the previous experiment which was done, I just is copy this code. Then I save this file. Then you can see the right corner, it is a run script. If I click this run script, the program will be executed, output will be there. You can see all the statements will be executed and output will be displayed. Okay. Now I'm going to use semicolon so that I want to get only the final result, not any intermediate result. Save it, run it. Now you can able to see that the file sample TP was running and its output was shown here. In this way, we are able to create a sample MATLAB file and we are able to execute that file also. Okay, now I'm stopping the screen. I'm requesting everybody just you can show that how the file can be created and how it can be executed. Okay, those who are completed, we can share the screen. The coding is the same coding. I have not changed anything. Just I have put some semicolon. Yes, fine. Thank you, Devnash. Close it. What about others? Raj, I'm seeing your output. Okay, fine, Raj. Thank you. Close it now. Yes, Sri, you can close it. Yes. Are you doing? Yes, Vijay Raj. Okay, thank you, Vijay. You can close it. Okay, fine. Today, our lab section is completed. Just we can see overview of the what is Octo, how to execute the basic commands, how the basic commands will be reacted. Then you can go for the user-defined functions and the predefined functions. Then we can able to draw the plot. Then finally, we're able to see how to create a file. Okay, today's lecture is over. So it's the first class. So I'm giving excuse the students those who are not show me the output. But from next lecture onwards, next Friday, everybody should have to show the output. Then only you're able to understand what I am teaching. Okay, I told that it can be executed in the tab, mobile phone, it also executed in the laptop or system also because it is a URL. No need to install anything. Okay, fine. I'm requesting everybody that just you can drop your enrollment number for attendance, then we can leave the class. Please mention your class name. Those are given the attendance, we can leave the class. Okay, thank you, students. Yes, we can unmute your mic. What is your name? Oh, I'm knowing not your number. What is your name?
My name is Jeffram.
Why you are not attend the class?
Yeah, I was attending and I was initially. Now I'm coming from without internet connection.
No, you are not able to attend any time. Just at the end of the class, you are giving the attendance. I am not give attendance to you now. Okay.
So it's I was
No, no,
attending.
no, no, no. It is not good. It is not good at all. Because I want to execute the program and share the detail. But at
Yeah,
the
I
end of the,
was okay online.
let's say I will be keep in pending. The next laboratory lecture you want to show me, then we can able to get that marks. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, fine. Thank you.